Hey friends, welcome back to Kiki's Closet. Today we're headed back to biblical times to chat with my friends on the national tour of Jesus Christ Superstar. Let's go!
Come on and come and play in Kiki's Closet today.
Please help me welcome my friends, Jordan Wesley Brown, LV Ellis, Cooper Clack, and Lydia Iku. Hey everybody, welcome to Kiki's Closet. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedules to chat with me here on the show. I'm so excited. First question, what color is your heart today?
I'm going to go with light blue.
Like the little background we're getting for Cooper, yeah?
Yes, it's kind of cloudy skies, but now that we're in Florida, I feel light blue is really like my heart right now.
I was going to say the same thing. That was actually my color scheme of the day, is matching all my blues. And we're going to the beach today. So yeah, blue or light blue is definitely my color as well.
I'm going to go with this purple color that I have on. It's a good, healthy heart, but I'm sleepy. I've been sleepy. This tour is kicking my butt.
Yellow. Yeah, we're in Florida, like Jordan said, so just yearning for the sun to just come on out and just give its vibes, give its rays.
Four of you are currently on the national tour of Jesus Christ Superstar, making your way across the country. I want to know, what are your favorite cities so far?
I think my favorite city, aside from my hometown of Oklahoma City, I would say Vancouver.
I loved LA. I felt like the energy we got in LA from like the audience, because we played the Pantages, and I think one thing about the Pantages being such an iconic and huge space, I think that we were really nervous taking, I would say, a show like this to the Pantages. So to get the audience participation that we got, especially at the beginning of the show, was so great to just experience that.
Mine is also Vancouver because of the hotel that we stayed in. It was like 20 to 30 floors off the ground, and we just had like a city view from our hotel. It was so cool, and the outdoorsy things that we were able to do. We went on a wooded hike that Jordan hated because there were two giant bridges, and he's afraid of heights. So.
You didn't have to bring that up. You didn't have to bring that up at all.
I know better than to not make Jordan do anything in the wilderness.
It was exciting if you were there watching Jordan. I'll say that.
Mine was Tempe, Arizona. Not only did I celebrate my birthday there, but just the all-around vibes, almost how Jordan said about LA. Arizona was definitely giving it.
Now, Jordan, you already touched base on this a little bit about bringing this specific show across the country. It's 2023, we've got a major election coming up, and you're traveling, really, you're hitting all the blue states, you're hitting the red states. What has been the biggest surprise in terms of traveling and bringing this specific show to a wide variety of audiences?
I think it comes down to the way that our directors and choreographers have done this show is something that people can really relate to, no matter what your age, no matter if you're boomer, millennial, Gen Z, or whatever, you can really relate to this show. I think one of the things that is impactful for me is that you can put any celebrity that you love in the spot of Jesus and take it from the beginning of their career to who they are now. I like to use Beyonce for myself, because I love her. I feel like you can take her beginning of her career when she was in Girls Time and take it all the way up to her splitting from Destiny's Child and taking it to where she is to this day. And it really kind of comes down to how we as fans have like kind of brought her to where she is now, and how we would like throw our lives just for her, like throw ourselves in the middle of a road just for Beyonce, or do what we can to throw our lives in the middle of the road just for Beyonce. I think that was something that's so impactful for our show, that it's not just this like hippy dippy style show that you're typically used to seeing in the 70s. It's actually like in your face. This is Jesus Christ Superstar.
With that, like the show relates to a lot of different people, but it's also still pretty polarizing. So there are moments in the show where people still get up and walk out. People are obsessed with the actor who plays Jesus. His name is Jack, and people flip out about his man bun. And like we see so many comments that are like, I loved the entire thing, but why does Jesus have a man bun? You kind of get the wide spectrum of like responses from people in these different states and political areas. And some of the people who like are super conservative, very Christian, religious folks like love everything about the show. And then some of those same people like hate everything about the show.
Of course, Andrew Lloyd Webber's Jesus Christ Superstar is inspired by the gospel accounts of the Passion of the Christ. And I'm wondering if any of your own personal beliefs have impacted the way you view this story and how you tell it 8 times a week.
I'm a Christian. I identify as a Christian, so I know the story, and it definitely, like, the story has impacted less than like my upbringing impacts the way I tell the story. The story has impacted the way I view my faith, the way we tell it.
When it comes down to it, my aunt, who's like very religious, and I was really nervous about her seeing this show. She was like, yeah, like I love the way y'all told the story because I feel like this is an accurate account to, you know, what it was like when he was in the temple or what it was like when he was becoming Jesus Christ Superstar. I think that Tim and Drew did a great job of actually kind of putting it in your face of like, this was not just, oh, this is a fun ride and we're just gonna go on this ride together. This ride is gonna be rocky. It's gonna have some fun parts, but at the same time, for the most part, it's gonna be trials and tribulations. Not to quote the Bible.
My relationship with like Christianity and just like religion in general has been like up and down all my life. I grew up in Central Florida, like going to church with my family when I was younger. But whenever I started to like grow into my sexuality and come out as gay and things like that and figure everything out like that, I started to stray away from like the church itself, which kind of went in turn with religion and Christianity as well. Through high school and things like that, I got baptized, but then there was also like months or years that I was just like, I'm not a Christian. But now as like I'm doing this show, I'm starting to find my like relationship with Christ and Christianity and religion again, not necessarily tied to the church itself, but doing my own research, reading on my own time, things like that have helped my relationship just with the show and with my faith in general.
Coming into it, I didn't really know too much about the show, to be honest with you. I don't know how to love him, and I didn't even know that it was from this show. So upon like listening to it, I was like, oh, okay, cool. It's like, you know, one of those rock musicals. I'm a film buff, so even seeing like bits and parts of the movie, I'm just like, oh, okay, great. And then understanding that this rendition that we're doing is not what that is. Like, it has nothing, like looking at it aesthetically, there's no real comparison. Just on the basis of faith and everything, it really didn't rock anything different for me. Just like Coop said, like going back and forth, I feel like just us as Christians anyway, we're made to not question God, but it's always going to be questions anyway because we're humans. So being in that sense of being artists at the same time, we are always going to be in that state of mind of being like, okay, so why is this? Why does it look like this? Does it have to smell this way? Is Jesus really going to look like that? He has a man bun? You know, it's all these things that, you know, the audience is going to come and ask as well. So to be on the other side of it and betraying it as a Christian, it's put it into a perspective of, okay, you all know the story. If you've read the Bible, you understand what it is. But if you come into the theater, you come into this seat, you're going to get an experience. You're going to come to this concert. You walk in, you see Beyonce, she's going to give you a show. You just so happen to have this premise of Jesus and, you know, his disciples and Mary and everything like that to put a premise to it and understand it further.
For anyone out there that's not familiar with Jesus Christ Superstar, that might just see the title and think, maybe the show isn't for me. Why is the show for them? Why is the show for everyone?
I think the show is for people who identify with the story of Jesus. If you know it, then it's going to make you view that story in a new way and probably make you leave thinking, who would I be in that story? I played Judas, so it's always my goal to try to get everybody to see themselves as Judas and to, if they're a Christian, to leave like with the understanding of like, if you believe in sin and all of those different things, like we sin every day and every single day, like I betrayed Jesus to the cross. But if you're not a believer, then it really is just a story, like Jordan said, about like fame and fanaticism. It's a story about love, about betrayal, about hopes and dreams, about fear and anxiety. You can see all of those different things. So I think any and everybody can come to it and get something out of it. If you're a Christian, then you can come to it and get that out of it. If you're not, if you have no clue what the name Jesus is about, you can come to it and learn about some man who was becoming a rock star and got too big for his britches.
Thank you so much for joining me here today on Kiki's Closet. You can catch my friends on the national tour of Jesus Christ Superstar, making its way around the country. Thank you all so much, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Come on and come and play in Kiki's Closet today.